You never won't miss the vibe. Scrolling through my feed, looking for a good time. Hatcher on YouTube, dropping truth and rhyme. Passion for magic, he's playing the cards right. Live stream so funny, keeping us up all night. Waking up early, smelling bacon in the air. Gotta start the day with a savory fare. Evening rolls around, time to chill and unwind. Tune in for chill streams where relaxation you'll find. Come hang out, let's battle for Lord of the Board. Hatcher's got the insights, he's got us all aboard. In the world of magic, the gathering, he's a master and a guide. So let's talk MTG and take the ride. So let's talk MTG and take the ride. For more fun, you better subscribe. You never want to miss the vibe. Hatcher is the master of MTG. Oh, live streams and videos are never a bore. Streams are fun, super chaotic. You'll be back as it's all hypnotic. Come hang out, let's battle for Lord of the Board. Hatcher's got the insights, he's got us all on board. In the world of magic, the gathering, he's a master and a guide. So let's talk MTG and take the ride. For more fun, you better subscribe. You never won't miss the vibe.
What's up, my friends? We are here for some magical enjoyment of the Planeswalkers Guide to Bloom. Oh man, my throat. Come on now. I couldn't even make it through the sentence. It's been a bad luck day for me, my friends. A bad luck day indeed. Things have not been going well. Thankfully, not on a big scale, but on a small scale. A lot of things haven't been going well, and I am indeed sick. Yesterday I wasn't sure if I was sick or what was going on. Now I know. I know for a fact I'm sick, because one of the bad luck things that happened to me was my nose started acting like I was 4 years old. You know how like kids can just have snot all over their face and not even know it? Normally when my nose is runny, I'll like know it and can do something about it. But literally it just like dripped out of my head onto my face. So my first realization was like, what's going on? What the hell is this? Anyways, can't forget to share the live stream link. First things first. Let's not get snotty, because not telling people is naughty. All right, that rhymed and that makes it true. Okay, so we will share the link in the Discord to let everybody know. Do all this goodness right here. Okay, that's good. Yeah, no, that looks good. Excellent. Excellent. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. Switch this over because I got the chat over here because I got the Planeswalkers guide on the main screen. So, our hellos start out with Kensuke. What up, Kensuke? Jess, Millmaster, Felonious T, Shelton, Zircon, Heavy Metal, Gosset, Eng, Teferi, who else is in here? Error, Rays, Ivory, Running, Doomblade, Joe, Nishimoto, Goddard, Juglum. What's up? Hello, my friends. How you doing today? Hopefully life's been treating you well. It's been kind of jerking me around on a number of different levels, including YouTube. Hopefully there's just an error with YouTube reporting data. Otherwise, my videos just aren't making money. And it's just like, yo, that's not okay. That's not okay. So, yeah, it has been a challenging day on a number of levels, including the bus schedules being absolutely wild today and way off course. But I think that's because there was some kind of big accident on the highway. So I'm just glad that I wasn't part of that, right? All it did was cost me some time, not part of my life, right? So that is all good overall, even though I am not feeling the best. Things are the best because we're here to talk about Bloomburrow in a fun way, talk about the lore, have a good time, focusing on that. Oh, speaking of good times, Doomblade, you're 21. You're legally old enough to be drunk by a giant. They can drink your blood now. If somebody tall enough, like Andre the Giant comes along, he's allowed to twist your head off and drink your blood. That's the law. I don't make the laws. I just ignore them. Nishimoto, you were watching Fantasy Geographic today to catch up on the story. Good choice. Bloomburrow story was okay for a quick write-up by an unknown author. But compared to Redwall, it's no good. Yeah, well, I mean, if you compare it to something epic, what are you supposed to do? When you compare it to previous Magic lore of recent times, yeah, it's great. It is great. What up, Super Duper? Didn't know you weren't subscribed? Why are we in subs only mode? Let's use our brains now. Let's think about what you just said. Hey, I didn't realize I wasn't subscribed. So, what is it that let you know that you weren't subscribed to the channel? I wonder if it's subscribers only mode. I wonder why that's on, bro. Well, Super Duper is clearly not how your fucking brain functions, right? Let's be clear about that. Hello? Hello? That's me knocking on your wooden head. Come on, bro. Use your brain, son. You use your brain. It's like, oh, I didn't know I was subscribed. So now I am. Why is this thing that will remind people to be subscribed turned on this channel where most of the people who watch you aren't subscribed? Jeez, I don't know, buddy. I don't know how you feed yourself. Anyways. Goddard, you're struggling, but you're here. Well, I mean, struggling means you're still alive, baby. Kenzie says, maybe YouTube found out they make more money if they don't pay creators. Yeah, maybe for a day or two. But overall, I'm sure a lot of people would stop. Not everybody does this because they like to entertain people. Some people do it just for the finances. So I imagine a bunch of people would hightail it out of here. Got my ice water. We got the first installment of the Planeswalkers guide right here. Let's see here. Let us switch over. Super duper, go ahead. If you unsub after the stream, you know you're just going to come back next time and be like, I didn't know I wasn't subscribed. Masad, you thought you clicked on my OnlyFans stream? Well, do you see my winking anus? No. No, you don't. So, shut it. Hey, Millmaster! Thanks for joining the stream membership. Thanks, buddy. Thanks. You guys are all R level now because it's based on the letters of my name. It's not based on like other things that start with R. Although some of your comments, you know. Heavy Metal, who took the board last night? You did, fancy boy, on behalf of Wizards of the Coast. In the name of their ultimate greed. You did it. See you says, hi, first time catching a stream. This is your first time catching one of my streams, and you're catching it here? Well, you know what? I'll give you a little clap, because this is my smallest channel out of everything. So congratulations on making it here for your first stream. There's no difference based on where they happen, really. They're all the same meandering morass of mediocre insanity. See you, what's your last name? Next Tuesday? Oh, ha ha ha. Because that's where my brain goes when I just see you as the first two letters. It's like, those are just my initials, bro. Come on, man. Come on. So, they're doing the Planeswalkers guide in 3 parts for this, all right? So, they're also doing some kind of, like, what's it called? What do you call it? Where there's somebody, like, the first part of this is, it feels goofy a little bit here, where it's just like, you look at this right here, and it's like, welcome, Bloomburrow's our first journey into the titular plane Bloomburrow, a setting focused on anthropomorphic animals. This set explores the region of Bloomburrow known as Valley, a pastoral land whose fields teem with the abundance of life and whose inhabitants welcome all visitors. But then when you read this part, you're just like, so this is said by the same person. This is all said by the same person. So this part is clearly talking about the magic set, but then immediately it leaps over into, actually, we're in the world of magic and we're about to go through an omen path. And you're just like, sorry, what? Like, I haven't read most of this. I just read the first couple paragraphs because I wanted to make sure everything was set up properly. I thought that we would explore all this stuff together, right? See you always watch the streams on the archive. Oh, okay, well, fair enough. This will be up afterwards because you just said it's 4:21 in Germany. Oh, smoke them if you got them, big boy. That's pretty late. So you can come back and check it out later if you want. What up, Yamagoro? So yeah, the second paragraph goes, speaking of welcoming all visitors, I have a special treat. Just step through this conveniently placed omen path and we'll be off. And don't worry about dinner. My good friend will have something even more scrumptious waiting for you on the other side. So this is supposed to be like, hi, we're talking about like what's going on here with Earth, with the magic set. But also, there's an omen path that you can go through. And it's like, all right. Millmaster gifting a membership to Jess. Oh, you fancy boy. You're the member lord. And you did it with Jess. You just did it with Jess. You got diseases now. Why am I about to write Jess's name here? Millmaster gets the credit. Whoop, whoop. Thanks for sharing the love, big boy. All right. So, this kind of stuff right here honestly feels cheesebaggy to me, where it's like you step through the omen path and are sent careening through it, landing rump up in the middle of the small clearing. I bet you guys like to be rump up. Am I right? You like to be rump up and then you look around for me until you feel a tug on your leg? This feels like cringy role-playing with somebody on some internet forum where they're like, you wake up rump up. I insert 3 fingers delicately into your buttocks and withdraw the magic of Bloomburrow! Yay! It's magical, right? Hey, super duper! Welcome to the crazy level of the membership. You may lord that over members who are only wild. You're full on crazy. Crazy! It's like, I'm going to unsubscribe right after the stream, but I will be a member. Jess, if anyone's getting diseases when you and Millmaster do it, it's you. Bro, I feel like your body has just been so damaged by like awful chemicals and stuff that you're probably immune to all the diseases Millmaster has because they would refuse to inhabit your body, you know? Doomblade says, anthropomorphic animals, you mean furries. It's not furries. We've been over this. Like, how did you make it to 21 years and still be this fucking stupid, huh? Huh? They're just animals. CU gets it. Exactly. Exactly. The furries are in the Imagine set. So you can imagine, oh my god, Jace is finally a fox. I can't wait to tongue his fox butthole in a weird Jace D9. Jace, can you go from Mind Sculptor to Dong Sculptor? Sculpt it for me, Papa. Activate your ultimate loyalty ability inside me, Daddy. So, guys, can we stay focused? You're rump up in the middle of the small clearing. You know what? I take it back. Maybe they are writing this for furries because it feels like what is it, that stupid thing that furries do where they go yoo-hoo, yoo-hoo, or whatever it is? Do you know what I'm talking about? I feel like 1,000,000 years old thinking about this. 100%. 100%. So y'all are rump up and you can hear hustle and bustle in all directions. It's your butt buddies coming to clean the fur. I don't know. Until you look around for me until you feel a tug on your leg. They're a mouse? Wait, what? Hold on. You step through the own path or send careening through it. You land rump up in the middle of a small clearing from which you can hear hustle and bustle in all directions. You look around for me until you feel a tug on your leg. They're a mouse? Is that not you? The person who's writing this? Running's got it. It's the UWU thing. Is that supposed to be a face where they're just going yeah or whatever with their mouth? Oh, I'm old. Okay. All right. No time to worry how furry, feathered, or scaly we are. I have an appointment, and we can always come back later. I gesture forwards under a lazy branch and up a staircase. The crowd sounds closer now. I open the door and beckon you in. This is awful. This is awful. Like, the rest of the guide's actually going to be, hopefully, just breaking down parts of Bloomburrow because I hate this, honestly. You look around in every direction. Lively raccoons and mice mid-toast. A frog whose cheeks are swelled up. He must have landed rump up, too. Jack Gomez says, face down, ass up. That's the way we like to land in Bloomburrow. Oh, God. Okay. So, a frog whose cheeks are swelled up. Okay. In what you can only assume is a belly-shaking laugh, and a rabbit standing tiptoed on a ladder set on the side of a large pot, so full it nearly bubbles over. Suddenly, he falls in. Everyone's screaming, "Oh no! Billy Bunny is boiling to death!" Oh well, more meat for the stew. Welcome to Cannibal Island, bitch! You're the first to be voted off. Okay, so the pot nearly bubbles over, and he's stirring it methodically. The crowd is silenced as they notice you come in their mouth. As they notice you come in, they look around and among themselves, throwing wordless glances your direction until they erupt in a chorus of jubilation. Yay! I squeeze you through my mouth. I squeeze you through I squeeze you through the cloud as you're barraged by salutations. By the time we're through, and next to the rabbit stirring the pot, you must have made 10 new friends. Oh, goody gumdrops. Oh, goody gumdrops. Ollie, it's the rest of the guide's better. It's only in the beginning that uses the weird second-person narration. I scrolled down a little before, and it looked like it knocked this nonsense off. So, this is awful. All right. You made 10 new friends, buddy. Count them. Oh, it's Mrs. Bumbleflower. She's here to give you a cake and tickle your taint. Okay. The rabbit turns to us and says, "Greetings, travelers. Stay a while and listen. Welcome to Three Tree City. As I'm always saying, whether you're lost or you found your way here, pull up a seat and settle in. I'll get you something warm. I'll find you a warm hole." The rabbit grabs a huge ladle and slops a stew into a cavernous wooden bowl. Cavernous wooden bowl? Why wouldn't you just have a regular size? Anyways, it smells sumptuous of herbs and vegetables simmered for days, if not years. It's thick and bright. I nearly forgot to introduce myself. My name is Miss Bumbleflower, hello, proprietor of this inn, and by my paws, this is your first time in Valley, correct? Welcome, welcome. My friend here tells me you're due for a history lesson, and much more. You settle into your stew as Miss Bumbleflower begins her tale-off heroes and legends and how this all came to be. And if you think that I read it wrong, I didn't. You can see it right there. It says tally-off. I don't know what that means, but I do know that they probably should have put a space between the words. But that's fine, because spell checker wouldn't catch that. Because look, tally-off is a word we all know, right? It's a variation of tallywhacker. This was written by a furry. What about rodents? Mrs. Bumbleclawed. Master says I might be groomed right now. Listen, bro. You rump up. How wide do you spread your cheeks? Before you hear voices in the difference. Gripping your cheeks, you get to decide how much you dilate your hole. Oh, Miss Bumbleflower, how furry is your butthole? How do you clean the fur? All right, now let's move into the actual stuff. Okay, the history of Valley, the season of chaos. In ages past, back before the inhabitants of Valley, though it was not called that then, knew how the wheels of the world turned, or how the ebb and flow of great seasons natured the land. The plain ran amuck with magic. The big devoured the small. The powerful preyed upon the weak. The most powerful of all were the Calamity beasts, towering wordless creatures whose supernatural presence brought blizzards, floods, droughts, and blight. Living seasons whose every step shook the world, drowning their victims in unimaginable torrents of power. The oppressive heel of the Calamities imposed an unstable equality, a reason for those who could not contend with their power alone to band together. Those that banded together were called animal folk. So the rest weren't? They found solace beneath the ground, developing culture and camaraderie, a comrade, as the world above them succumbed to the chaos of the Calamities. It is interesting. That the Calamity beasts have no ability to speak, while the other beasts do, right? That is funky. Nishimoto natured the land, not nurtured the land. I presume this means literally caused nature to grow forth as opposed to nurturing it, because we do have elks that straight up cause flowers and plants and stuff to grow. So for me, I don't have a problem with that. Even if natured isn't used, even if that's not the proper use of it and you can't just add a D to natured, it feels right and I'm absolutely fine with it. I don't have an issue with that one at all. So that's fine. Banding is back. That's right, That's right. Unstable quality with the new value boosters. Get them while you can. All right, so we've got the Order of the Holly Leaf. This actually comes up in the story a bit. Discontented to live their lives in the deep tunnels beneath Valley. For some reason, my brain wants it to be called The Valley. Every time I read it, I want it to be called The Valley, but whatever. So, discontented to live their lives in the deep tunnels beneath Valley, a band was formed. And they rocked out so hard! Yeah! One that joined the various species of animal folk together in a band was formed. One that joined the various species of animal folk together in a band. Okay. All right. Together in a band dedicated to resistance and the pursuit of free lives above ground. Underneath the shade... Come, comrade, we shall be free above ground. Underneath the shade of a holly bush flush with berries, their words spoke a magical pact into being, binding themselves to each other. Oh, they're tying each other up. Binding themselves to each other and the land until a home and peace were secured. The holly leaf became their symbol, woven into their clothing and emblazoned on their armaments. We remember them as the Order of the Holly Leaf, though they're just a legend to most. However, their pact had another consequence. The land was now a wellspring of energy for them to draw from. The natural power of the elements were now playthings in their hands. They could reshape the earth around them, send lightning crashing onto their foes, raise the dead, and even bend time to their wills. The greatest among those who could harness this magic were called weavers, and their magic was called weaving. Yeah, obviously. Their words and actions were the threads that brought great power into being. I thought that the great power was created as a result of the Hollyleaf Pact. I do actually like that. I do like the idea of a bunch of individuals coming together and then they create, like, we're going to create this order and we're going to create this sacred pact. And as a result, it essentially gives them access to the mana of the world, or possibly even brings the mana of the world into being. So yeah, that's funky. You got the War of Cinders, which actually totally makes me think of Lorwyn, right? Because they had the Cinder characters there. Felonious D says motorboat in the Calamity breasts. All right. War of Cinders. Powerful as weaving was, the Calamity beasts would not succumb to their terrible new powers. What? How? This is unwieldy. Powerful as weaving was, the Calamity beasts would not succumb to their terrible new powers. It makes it sound like the Calamity beasts wouldn't succumb to their own powers. Also, the previous part talked about the Hollyleaf Order bringing wondrous magic into existence. Why are they calling it terrible new powers? Anyways, for 2 generations, battles raged throughout Valley. Well, how long are generations for these goofy little animals? So, battles raged throughout the valley. Animal folk fought back in kind, slaying the weakest among the Calamity beasts when the opportunity presented itself. It was then that the greatest among the Calamities appeared, Wild Seer, the season of flames, the primordial fire, the scouring maw who burns through the seams of this plane and the next. Yo, that's actually pretty cool, honestly. Is he supposed to be a dragon? Like, is this a multi-headed Hydra? Look at that artwork, right? What exactly is its aspect? What up, Scorpigeist? This is good, even though it's a bit ham-fisted. Yep, there are definitely fun elements here, 100%. I know I'm making fun of it as we go, but there are some fun elements. This idea, the greatest calamity being a literal season of fire, primordial fire, who literally burns through the seams that connect planes, right? How does that affect the blind eternities? Oh, I never noticed all the little bunnies in this artwork. Look at that. Wow, they're hosed, man. They don't look very troubled at all, though. Interesting. Some says they got tired of weaving and thus machines were created that would sew the threads. All right. Great firestorms raged, erasing what little progress the animal folk had made. The great oak was split by fire and lightning and still smolders to this day. A monument to the power of the elements. That's really cool, actually. Primordial fire that's still burning in this tree. Like, well, not burning, smoldering, right? Because it would just burn down otherwise. Hope was lost, and the animal folk driven to the dens beneath the earth, forced to dig deeper and deeper as the flames above grew hotter and hotter. It was under the crackling fires that Lily was born. Okay, so, Lily of the Valley. Like, they couldn't help themselves, right? A humble farmer who grew up pruning the great mushrooms that dotted the tunnels of her birth. She's got mushrooms in her birth tunnel. Lily moved as her family did when their homes and burrows collapsed beneath weight and flame, until they were driven to the heart of Valley, surrounded on all sides by the threat of death. The weavers would battle fiercely, erecting walls of boulders and trees, 1 fat tree and 2 big boulders. But it would only be a matter of time before their defenses would be breached and their lives snuffed out. The first snuff film on Bloomburrow. As the Calamities closed in, their jaws gnashing and their primal power carving up the land beneath their feet and wings, Lily stood strong, tapping into the power of the vow made generations ago. Something stirred within her soul. Born from her love of her friends, family, and the world she so diligently cared for, the Seed Flame, a renewing power that even the Calamity beasts could not overcome. The Seed Flame stripped much of Wildseer's power, turning Lily into a radiant sun, an animal folk with the power of nature like a Calamity beast. For 3 days, her light burned and drove the predators back, weakening them as the light spread across all of the valley. In the final moments of this conflict, she battled Wildseer one last time, chipping its tooth and sending the beast beyond the brambles, outside valley. I guess Bloomburrow is a lot bigger than what we got to see originally. I do like the idea of essentially stealing the most powerful Calamity Beast's power, sending it running, but the only damage you're really able to do is chipping its tooth. Is that what Cragflame is made out of? Is Cragflame made out of Wildseer's essence, like, and tooth? Because that's a cool concept, right? All right, we got Calamities Within. The power of Weavers would hold the line against the newly weakened Calamity Beasts. At last, a peace emerged. Valley as we know it today came to be, though it started small as a sapling, right here in 3 Tree City. So the valley isn't a fucking valley? It's a tree? What? Valley started as small as a sapling right here in 3 Tree City. But the magic of weaving could not be sustained. The magic of weaving could not... What? The animal folk grew indulgent in the seasons after Lily has saved them? Oh! Can you keep it in the same tense, please? The animal folk grew indulgent in the seasons after Lily had saved them. Weaving grew too powerful, and what might have been minor disputes turned into world-shaking battles where might ruled Valley. I really wish it was called the Valley. Fuck it, I'm just going to start calling it the Valley. I don't even care. The surge of magical energy created backlashes, turning weavers into monsters fueled entirely by primal rage and energies. Their rampages became unstoppable, threatening the small peace that had been achieved. Some began to wonder if this was the origin of the Calamity Beast, or if such power was a curse as much as a blessing. At the same time, the seasons that had governed the land had grown unpredictable. Once driven, though brutally, by the calamities, what order existed gave way to chaos. Snowy mornings turned to hurricane-ravaged evenings. In banishing the Calamity Beasts, the valley had traded one pain for another. This is actually a really cool concept. The Calamity Beasts they create some semblance of order and seasons, but you get rid of those. You have mages that have used power beyond their control that's warped them into elementals as well, and then basically you don't even know what you're going to get. It could be snowy in the morning, you could be getting sun-baked at night, right? That's pretty sweet. That's pretty sweet. All right, the foundation of the valley. In response to the chaos that weaving had wrought, the lineage of heroes chose to seal their most powerful knowledge away. Okay. Though weaving continued to exist, the most powerful magic was gone, never to be taught again. Wouldn't it just naturally burgeon in people? Hidden somewhere deep in the valley, Lily left as well, leaving the tooth of Wildseer that she named Cragflame and her armor to her descendants to venture off through... Okay, so Lily left to venture off through the brambles. See, they call it the brambles, not just brambles. The sword now awaits the true of heart hero to awaken the primordial fire once again. With no powerful weaving to keep them at bay, the calamities returned once again to Valley, where they remain to this day. Our ancestors learned to deal with these former foes in more inventive ways. Frogfolk learned to predict their migration paths as storm-chasing otterfolk tracked calamities across the valley. What? The otterfolk were chasing storms and that's how they tracked calamities? Ratfolk accrued great knowledge, the custodians of knowledge in the valley. Like, using the same word within like 5 words of it, like... It's so clunky. It's so clunky. Rat folk became the custodians of knowledge in the valley. There you go. There you go. By being custodians of knowledge in the valley, they would accrue great knowledge. Good Lord, the writing. This writing is not great. The lizard folk, native to the valley at that time, learned to hone what meager weaving they had into spells of great power. Oh, so they learned how to have great power. You mean the great powers that would never be taught again and were sealed away, never to be known again? Great. Okay. The squirrel folk came to worship these calamities, using the power within the calamity beast's bones to raise the dead. That is epic. Joe says it's like the movie Twister, but with otters. That's funny. What up, lasagna? It's all good, man. You're allowed to be late. So, the squirrel folk literally using calamity beasts' bones to raise the dead is a really cool concept. I like that. Raccoon folk and bird folk scoured the valley, finding layers and marking them to avoid danger. The bat folk communed with the stars, seeking rituals for protection and power beyond the realm of animal folk. But they're animal folk, so that makes what the power they find within the realm of animal folk, does it not? Does it not? Okay, anyways. Rabbit folk fed them all, happy to till the soil and grant the gifts of their harvests. Everybody else is like, we will be the guys who store all the knowledge. We're going to use the bones of calamity beasts to raise the dead. I will scour the heavens for great knowledge. What are you rabbit folk going to do? You want a pastry? Or like, I'll make you a pizza or something. Really? Really? And the little mouse folk, brave as ever, would challenge their foes, leading them away from the precious village and cities in that now dotted valley. I do really love the tiny little mice facing off against calamity beasts. That vibe is epic. Over time, the heroes that had saved the valley and the ways they did it became legends. The valley flourished, and the unity between the stewards of this land grew. While we still manage to scuffle from time to time, our love of the land that we care for is passed down from each generation to the next. Okay. All right. Interlude. This is it. They're interlude. What a riveting tale. I'll take over from here, Miss Bumbleflower. I know you have other business to attend to. Now let me tell you about the valley and the people that make it special. Is this supposed to be the person from the beginning who lives in the real world who's like, Bloomburrow's a set, now come through this omen path so we can get rumps up together? Rabbit folk or halfling? Yeah, Scorpageist, I guess that's what they're going for. Yeah, Master says, so hide the power away. Check. Too dangerous to use. Check. Shit gets bad again fast. Ouch. Wish we had something real powerful. Scours all known knowledge. Guys? What is the valley? The valley is a small region in the larger plain of Bloomburrow. The valley is a temperate stretch of land, home to a diverse array of wildlife and natural landmarks, from small bogs and ponds to rocky hills and fields of flowers. The first thing a visitor might notice is the scale of nature here. Foliage towers overhead like a forest. Trees are large enough to support a whole city. And a boulder is a mountain to the valley's inhabitants. Within the valley are 5 biomes that support all manner of flora and fauna. This is great. Some says, the rabbit exclaimed to the fox, please don't throw me into that briar patch. What up, everyday? How you doing, buddy? So, I love this gigantic, oversized world concept. This is fantastic. I really loved the giant world in like Super Mario Brothers 3, all that. It's really cool. I liked that they were like, yo, check it out, Ral. Now you're in this world full of giant dandelions and stuff. That's got a cool vibe. That's got a cool vibe. Nishimoto, it is interesting that they elected not to include any dogs or cats in this set, considering how much people like dogs and cats. It obviously had to be an intentional decision, right? So, well, you can see right here, you got the artwork with the gigantic dandelions and stuff. That's funky. The perspective of us as tiny dudes, I vibe on that. That's cool. That's cool. The meadows of Valley are a canvas on which native wildflowers and amber grass grow and thrive. Tall, wispy pampas grass and yarrow provide a canopy for the animal folk traveling below, keeping the ground cool even when the sun is high overhead. Dandelion seeds float through the air like snow during the spring and fall. Man, pollen season must be a bitch, right? Patches of tall grass are separated by clearings full of chamomile and partridge berry flowers that thrive in the soft sunlight. These small clearings are full of medicinal plants. No wonder! No wonder the sun is high overhead. They got the medicinal plants. Yo, this is where you go to get, like, think about how big the plants would be. You'd get a huge crop. So, local animal folk harvest during the spring and summer to dry for the winter months. Animal folk farms are common in meadows, entwined delicately with the surrounding nature. Long rows of tomatoes, peppers, and spring onions crowd the fields in the spring and summer. When valley grows colder, the harvest shift to cabbage, radishes, and carrots. Berries grow year-round, with different types thriving depending on the season and specific environment. Are there hedgehogs? Isn't there? Is it a hedgehog who's on the artwork for Hunter's Talent? Then we got ponds, and we got a big old mildew-covered log, a mossy log here with a bunch of little banners hung up there. All right. Ponds dot valley, beckoning animal folk along their shores to farm and fish. Some ponds are filled with lily pads, all grown from the original lily of the valley. It doesn't say that. Providing ample surface for the semi-aquatic animal folk to rest in between dips in the water. Weary travelers are always relieved to see water, knowing a settlement is sure to be nearby. Larger ponds provide clear, fresh water for all of Valley's animals. Like, do the Calamity beasts not need water? 100%? So, you've got fresh water for all of Valley's animals, whether it's through subterranean irrigation or merchants who bottle up water to bring to those who live far away. So they have Evian on Bloomburrow as well. Especially when the things that would have been domesticated are Calamity beasts. Yeah, I guess the closest thing to dogs and cats are the Calamity beasts, aren't they? The long river runs down from above the forests all the way to the marshes and beyond the valley. Fish swim frequently through the valley, providing a nourishing source of food for those animal folk patient enough to catch them. How big are the fish? This river and the ponds do not intersect. The ponds are isolated and fed by rainwater, while the river leads to the marshes, its source far behind the land of the valley. The largest pond in all of the valley is home to Fountainport, a marvel of craftsmanship and a popular destination for animal folk to visit, whether to see friends or to gaze across the pond. So this is obviously all the blue aligned stuff, right? You wonder if there's insects there? Look in this artwork. There is insects. You can see the dragonflies. They look big enough that you could fly on them, right? Couldn't you use them like mounts? Okay, then we got the marshes. Are those mussels? Valley's marshes appear where tributary rivers start to run dry, exposing beds of silt and detritus among muddy banks. Tall grasses obscure the entrances to rat folk villages, tunneled into the side of the banks and reaching far below into subterranean caverns. Discarded snail shells and bones littered the ground, washed up on shore from all over Valley. The place teems with life, though it's often hidden beneath the surface. The riverbanks are home to shellfish, with mussels growing along the sediment-covered rocky outcroppings and clams hiding beneath the riverbed. Mussels and clams occasionally spit out muck and silt, a messy and sometimes dangerous habit that can cover hapless wanderers in filth or even send them flying through the air. Roots from plants that grow along riverbanks are exposed when the water runs dry, creating a gnarled maze pockmarked by shallow pools of stagnant water. Insects are frequent visitors to the marsh, planting eggs in the muck to feed on the nutrients below. Yo, it's pretty cool that they have mussels included with this, honestly. I'm originally from Newfoundland, and I remember going out in the boat, like in a little boat, rowing along with a couple of other dudes and having a big old bucket as we moved around these tiny little islands, these tiny little rock chunks where they knew the mussels would be. I had no idea, but they were like, yo, let's go get mussels for your grandma. She'll love it. because that's just what you do in small, like, I'm literally from a small village originally. So we went up and like filled a bucket. Like, bro, the mussels are very firmly attached down there to the earth. Like, you can't just pick them up like a rock. You gotta yank real hard to dislodge them. So they were right though. My grandma was really happy about us bringing back a bucket of mussels. Super duper setting. It's settings like this that make you miss 3-block sets. I 100% agree. It is awesome, and I want a longer story too, not just one and done. I absolutely agree with you. 100%. 100%. Joe says, subterranean caverns under a river, wouldn't they be below the water table and flooded? I presume that they go off to the side and angle outwards, you know? That's my guess, is they probably angle downwards and outwards away from where the water would be, right? So, let's hope that Bloomburrow does really well and that we'll return to this world. Look at the leaf boat! Bro, I just noticed the leaf boat! Look at it, there's a leaf boat here! Look at that! Look at the leaf boat! That's cool. Alright. Then we got... Hold on. My sickness is drying me out here. Wait until Guilds of Bloomburrow, where they use the leftover Bloomburrow artwork and just put it on Ravnica. Okay. So, hills. Great mounds of craggy rocks jut out from the sloping hills of Valley, providing shade to some animal folk and sunbathing perches to the lizards who call this place home. Some of these hills were once full of water that eroded the rocks into smooth, high shapes that box inhabitants in from all sides. Vegetation is sparser here, given the tall shadows that block light from reaching much of the ground. But wildflowers will sprout from cracks within the rocks, and trees help prop up large boulders with their tall trunks or thick roots. It's difficult to see the tops of these hills from the bottom, engendering a sense of wonder and amazement in the smallest animal folk. Climbing to the top of a boulder might take days, and is surely something to boast about afterwards. That's funky. You can see the little homes here with their little fires lighting them up. That's pretty cool. All right. Oh, bro. Look at this artwork. This is awesome. I love how vibrant this looks. Okay. Thickets. So this is like the forest equivalent on Bloomburrow. The forests of Valley are filled with lush foliage, characterized by thickets of mossy and vine-covered trees and rocks. Ivy provides pockets of shelter that disguise nests and homes to keep animal folk safe. Oak trees here have squat and round trunks, branching off low to the ground. Their gnarled appearance reveals their age, many trees being hundreds of seasons old with a size to match. Trees are enormous here, housing entire cities where animal folk from all over the valley live in harmony. At the edge of the large forest along the river is the crowning achievement of animal folk camaraderie, Three Trees City. This is the most densely populated place in the valley, home to every species of animal folk and a major hub for travelers and adventurers. I love it. Look at the big berries too. They probably, like, if you look at the size of these little banners they have here, these berries are huge, right? So that's going to feed a bunch of people. Elena Danner. Yep, you're right. She did a good job. She did a good job. Ralph says, return to Bloomburrow. Hunting season. Yeehaw! Welcome to the Death Race Magic set. We're about to explode some varmints. Oh, man. Okay. All right. We've got Three Tree City, which looks pretty cool. Look at the size of the homes here, and then compare it to the size of this actual building that's lodged in the tree, right? This does seem gigantic. All right, Three Tree City is a massive city where the forests and long river meet, built across three ancient intertwined trees. Can you actually see the trees intertwined? It just mostly looks like one tree to me, honestly. Oh, there's a little windmill in the front. Oh, there's multiple. Yeah. Okay. All right. It's the largest dwelling in all of the valley, home to animal folk of all different species. Buildings here accommodate the smallest and largest of animal folk using differently sized doorways. multiple paths along main roads, and high-ceilinged public buildings to create a harmonious environment. Ramps and staircases made from cultivated bracket fungus run up the sides of the trees all the way to the canopy. Architecturally, Three Tree City is a mix of every animal folk style, sometimes clumsily thrown together in a rustic and charming way, other times carefully planned and constructed to maximize space and accessibility. So the major locations in Three Tree City are the Crown. At the highest point in the city, above the canopies, is a promenade that frequently serves as a meeting place for adventurers, visitors, and sightseers. Is there a difference between visitors and sightseers? Whatever. Man, something's going on out there. The whole of Valley is visible from the peak, and animal folk from all over come to marvel at the splendorous view. The Quilted District, at the heart of the city, under the largest of the three trees, is a quilted banner overlooking a highly diverse and populated portion of the city. The quilt has sections from every animal folk species that visits and lives within the city. Just got a banner? Okay. Docklands, the place where the Long River runs along Three Tree City is called the Docklands, a sprawling mass of rafts, docks, and other floating structures. That place got messed up by the Floodgar in the story. Then you got Fountainport. That's where the culmination of the story takes place. The largest pond in the valley is home to Fountainport, a large multi-tiered structure that's a trading hub and harbor for the many ships that sail the valley's waters. Its ruler is Glarb, not anymore, a frogfolk wizard king whose authority and power are suggested rather than enforced. Here, animal folk can come to relax in its fresh and cool waters between long treks to villages. In the story, it really didn't seem like Glarb was just kind of a ruler, right? Anyways. The city's home to a variety of animal folk, mostly water-dwelling, who always seem to be having a celebration at the king's behest. At the base, large portcullises control access to the docks beneath the city. The docks are surrounded by a rowdy harbor district known as the Tadpool, where trading can be done outside the watchful eye of the king and his subjects. Make up your mind. Either the king is in control or he's not, right? It's just a suggestion. If it's just a suggestion, why would anybody care about his watchful eye? Don't contradict yourself. It's annoying. On the tiers of the city, residential homes and shops float on the water untethered until a need arises. Slides and waterfalls provide access to the areas below each tier. Up at the top is Glarb's throne, surrounded by water sculptures that emerge from a sculpted water lily, the symbol of his position. All right. Beyond civilization, though the settled areas of Valley are peaceful and tame, many dangers lurk outside the villages and towns, off the beaten paths, in the teeming nature all around. These areas are known as the brambles. Within the valley, animal folk may venture... Look at this. Your spell check would catch this. This is not a word. Animal folk may venture into the brambles to places such as sacred cultural sites. Did they not even bother checking this after they wrote it? Locations ripe with lost relics from ancient days. Only a billion-dollar company. Or one-of-a-kind natural biomes that are only rumored to exist. The bravest and most daring adventurers will travel past the edge of valley into the layers of calamity beasts that house boundless magical energy and many unknown wonders. So you got the root maze. Hidden somewhere in the valley, raccoon folk have housed in a vast and sprawling labyrinth of roots a collection of precious relics with no immediate uses. Under a thick canopy of woven roots above, the pathways seem to lead to endless trash and treasure heaps that other animal folk can scarcely make rhyme or reason of. The nomadic raccoon folk scholars that venture throughout the valley and beyond are glad to give directions to those adventurers that are curious about the secrets hidden there. But they'll be far more likely to tell you to trust your feet to lead you to the right answers. All right. I mean, the idea that raccoon folk are just taking all this stuff, they're taking trash and precious relics, that's all right. That's all right. Zircon says 0 revision or editing likely. Too much effort. Yeah. What up, Bob? How you doing, buddy? Some you think a visitor just goes for food and family, maybe not so much for the sights. Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. Scorbageist, the lack of editing and copy editing is pretty astounding. I can't even say that I'm really astounded by it with the way that Wizards of the Coast has been operating. The guy who had to write this is probably overworked. To be fair. I'm still going to criticize the problems, but to be fair, he's probably overworked. The ever-burning oak. Some lizard folk in the valley worship a smoldering oak, an ancient symbol of the destructive power contained in nature. I guess if you consider the Calamity beasts nature. Anyways, for a lizard folk, this tree symbolizes a cycle of creation and destruction, use and reuse. Young lizard folk will journey to the tree, collecting a smoldering ember from the center of the tree with their bare hands. Blacksmiths use these embers to fuel their forges, and assassins keep their embers with them in ceramic, metal, or glass containers. They make ceramics? Okay. So they carry the embers with them, each uniquely in the containers that are uniquely crafted by a lizard folk community. Okay, so only the lizard folk make ceramic, metal, or glass containers. Well, that can't be right because they're selling water in glass. Though the heat eventually fades, an ember's powerful magic lasts nearly a lizard folk's whole life. When their ember goes out, a lizard folk knows they will pass over soon. What? So these embers are a result of the Calamity Fire Wildscar, setting the tree on fire, and it smolders forever. But lizard folk specifically go there and collect an ember that burns for most of their life, and they know when it goes out, their life will end soon. Why is it connected to the lizard folk? Like, why wouldn't everybody go and collect up embers that are literally connected to your lifespan? Whatever. It's a funky concept, but it doesn't make sense why nobody else would tell. There's a tree that has, like, powerful magic, and you can just walk up and grab a chunk. But only the lizards do it. Really? Really? Yeah, and they make ceramics, too. What? What is this, Phantasy Star? Do they make ceramic armor? Okay, anyways. Cliff of Heroes. The sun is said to never set on the highest hill in the valley. The hill is so tall that the grass has become sparse, and boulders dominate the skyline instead of trees. One massive boulder rises above the rest. Mousefolk climb this rock to demonstrate their bravery and willpower, but also their teamwork and camaraderie. Packs of experienced mousefolk band together to make quick work of this challenge. While younger mousefolk will look to the guidance of veterans for their first trip up, the top of the boulder is frequently home to raucous celebrations with whatever the climbers can carry up with them. Okay, so they just climb a boulder. Like, no offense, but how can, like, we've got necromancers that literally use the skeletons of Calamity beasts to summon the dead. We've got lizard folk who take the embers of a tree touched by the biggest and craziest Calamity beast that literally attune themselves to their lifespan. And the mice climb the equivalent of Mount Everest to have a party? Do you see the discrepancy? Like, for real. This is wild. Okay. I need an intermission here. I gotta go touch my glorious dong in leakitude. So, I'm gonna leave you with this and we'll be right back. Don't be a dink! Use my Amazon link! When Hatchet goes for a drink, bookmark that Amazon link! Don't be a bitch! You gotta scratch that itch! Bookmark that Amazon link! I got fucking bills to pay, y'all! Use my Amazon link! This is gonna take some work. Don't be a dink! Use my Amazon link! When Hatchet goes for a drink, bookmark that Amazon link! Don't be a bitch! You gotta scratch that itch! Bookmark that Amazon link. I got fucking bills to pay, y'all. Use my Amazon link. This is gonna take some work. Don't be a dink. Use my Amazon link. When Hatchet goes for a drink, bookmark that Amazon link. Don't be a bitch. You gotta scratch that itch. Bookmark that Amazon link. I got fucking bills to pay, y'all. Use my Amazon link. This is gonna take some work. Don't be a dink. All right, wait a minute. This isn't the right screen. Hold on. All right, we're back. We're back. Lasagna. Oh, you're excited about the Amazon intermission? It's a great tune. It's a great tune, right? 100%. 100%. Jess says, we've all got bills to pay, but Error has correctly told him only my bills matter. He's right. He's right. Fund my goodness. Use my Amazon link. For real, though. Do use my Amazon link. Why not? Why not? All right. Now, let's take a look at the Calamity Graveyard. Look at this, man. Look at his crazy, like, it's like almost like a gorget, right? That's wild. That is wild. Oh, the little bird skulls? Or wait, are those talons? Are those bird skulls on his belt? All right. Let's see here. Orega! That problem, what? Oh, the Amazon thing made you laugh way harder than you were expecting. It's a great tune. Well, thank you. I was very, very pleased when I came up with it. I was like, this is great. It's fun. You get a chuckle, and the tune itself is solid. It works. It works. Code 936. You love that was the first thing you came into when you noticed I was streaming. It's my current intermission. It will be expounded upon with more things as time progresses. But for now, it's just the Amazon link song. And again, use my Amazon link, guys. Some people already have been, and I very much appreciate it. And for like the next 3 months, Amazon is doing a special bonus where if you use my link enough, they'll give me extra monies. And I need that, especially with YouTube screwing me over. So, yeah. Anyways, back to this. A vast pit of tar and bones from fallen calamity beasts makes up the most dangerous terrain in all of the valley. Squirrel folk come regularly to worship the primordial cycle of life and death that they believe sustains this world. This is also the best source of bones for use in necromantic magic in the valley, as long as the necromancer is brave enough to venture here and back for their prize. Like, how is it not better? How is it not better than the climbing a mountain as the mouse? Whoop-de-doo. Whoop-de-doo. See you, the intro song is also fire. You're correct. DJ Longhair made that intro song, and I love it so much that sometimes when I'm going out and listening to music, like if I'm going out for a walk and listening to tunes, I will put that song on. 100%. 100%. Jess is correct again. Use my Amazon link because I got bills to pay, but make sure your guys' bills are paid first. Take care of yourselves first. That's the most important thing. All right. Mushroom Valley. A vast valley full of large mushrooms that grow wild on account of the deep magical ley line that runs below it. Colorful fungi, inedible plants, and strange insects thrive here. Squirrel folk venture here to gather poisonous and dangerous plants, cultivate fungal growths, and scavenge powerful calamity beast remains. The squirrels have a really cool setup, man. Calamity beast bones, mushrooms that grow strangely because of a magical ley line that they're growing on. Like, yeah, man. Plants collected growing over a ley line. The idea of ley lines themselves is really cool. The most powerful lines of power that run through a plane. I love it. The Knowledge Ossuary. Among the marshes, deep below the surface, lie the many repositories of knowledge and history called ossuaries. The Knowledge Ossuary is located in an unknown village, the most ancient of its kind, and protected by an array of powerful enchantments and warriors who dedicate their lives to the protection of its contents. Only a Ratfolk Elder can permit a visitor to view the contents of the ossuary, and even then, they must be accompanied by a guide for their own safety. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Super duper, you can imagine me while running into someone on a walk. What you listening to, Mike? My theme song. Yeah, that's hilarious. Actually, it's funny that you bring that up because I was recently watching the newest season of Taskmaster New Zealand, and there's one of the contestants ended up basically covertly filming or taking photos of the other guy, like another contestant, through their window. And so at first you're like, oh my God, they're literally like peeping through his window. And then someone points out, I'd like to point out that he's literally watching himself on his phone right now. And so like, that's the same kind of thing. That's me watching myself on my phone, listening to a tune about how great my songs and videos are, right? Oh, it's time to talk MTG and take the ride, right? There you go. Zircon's got the right attitude. The Amazon link costs nothing extra to you, so if one of your bills is to Amazon anyways, might as well let Hatch have some of that money, son. Right? Millmaster says, in a way, you're keeping a bit of the profit away from Amazon every time you use the link. Yes, comrades! We're going to build a commune where we are allowed to wear jeans, and we're all equal. We'll take a few dollars away from Amazon bit by bit and empower me with that money, comrades. All right. So next up, Crater of the Cosmos. Oh, that's interesting. A vast crater surfaced with obsidian was left behind by an unknown cosmic event. Deep in the night, water condenses on the surface, causing the firmament above to be refracted like a prism on every wall of the crater. That's cool. Batfolk venture to the bottom of this planetarium-esque structure to stare into the cosmic reflections and deep into space, channeling the light of the moon into magical energy. The formation of cosmic bodies above also contains spiritual wisdom passed on by Batfolk of past generations who have joined their ancestors in the eternal truth of the night sky. Yo, that's epic. Sam, you're right. Taskmaster is a fantastic show. It's hilarious. It's absolutely great. It's absolutely great. Fell Comet. At an underground pond deep beneath the surface of the valley, the Ratfolk worship a floating comet whose gravity has warped the world around it. Water leaks down from a complex network of caves, streaming over and around the comet. The water surrounding the comet has parted and frozen, forming a basin of dry, icy land directly below it's used as a proving ground. Young Ratfolk must reach the center of the caverns and chip off a chunk from the icy rock as a test of their cunning and ingenuity more than strength. Ratfolk need to use every tool in their arsenal to brave the harsh and dark frozen caves. Just be like, yo, I'm going to animate a dead to go get it for me. That's cool. So they got a comet down there. I wonder if that's going to be connected to the Fomori at all. All right. We got the light trap spires. Precarious spires are stacked endlessly upon each other, piercing the sky like a crowd of daggers. 2 times a day, the sun and moon each beam through them, casting a grand shadow across the valley. Mirrors catch this light, scattering and reflecting it along the spires until it cascades over a massive opaline gem embedded in the center of the towers. Here, an elder Batfolk trades sight of the waking world for a vision of the realms beyond valley. Their eyes are subsequently filled with a unique nebula-like pattern that marks their ascension to the upper ranks of the priesthood. I've seen that depicted in magic art. That's pretty cool, man. That's pretty cool. This is neat. This is neat. I like this. Burning Bog. A smoldering bog that never burns out marks the end of the valley and the beginning of the mystery lands beyond. Dangerous and seemingly without end, it's a place no young raccoon folk knows the way to survive before setting out. Like, every tribe is just like, we're going to send out our young to die. But they trust in nature to learn the skills it takes to make it through. The raccoon folk bards often sing of this place, weaving tales about the strange and otherworldly creatures that call it home. Though how much of these stories are exaggerated remains a mystery. All right. I do actually really like the idea that, like, Other cultures are like, yo, we're going to train our people to be able to go for these tests and see if they're good enough. But the raccoon folk are go and trust to the world to teach you what you need to know. That's cool, man. That is a very cool green aligned kind of perspective. After that, we got the Forest of Iron. A deep crag above a fault line hides the site of pilgrimage for lizard folk. I thought that was the tree. A forest of ancient petrified ash trees made of iron. The trees still grow, their branches becoming sharp and pointed, where their bark has oxidized into rust. Yo, that's funky. The forest is an important source of iron for armor and weapons. The thicker the tree, the more valuable and pure the metal towards the center will be, with each tree ring outside the center containing more and more impurities. The most ancient trees have cores of pure steel. This is cool. Bro, they put real effort into the world building. They get their iron specifically from petrified ash trees made of literal iron. That's epic. Then you got the Flower Garden, a sheltered and secluded grove in the underbrush. The sacred flower gardens are a site of a pilgrimage for rabbit folk of all ages. Yeah, little bitches, so they can go on some journey to learn how to be a fat goof who cooks for everybody else. The bitches of the world. The winding path to the center has been planned over centuries, and it's of utmost importance that no flowers are ever damaged by visiting rabbit folk. If a flower begins to die, the petals and other parts are collected and brought back to the valley to decorate the homes of any rabbit folk villages that witness the flowers passing. Seeds are planted when the old flower grew in the hopes that it grows again. If a flower grows in an unexpected area, the path is forever changed. Weak, lame crap. What up, Ashmead? This is the worst, man. This is the worst. Rabbit folk have been made into complete bitches. They just cook and go and walk down a path looking at flowers. Like, can you make them more than just cooks, man? Cooking is cool and all, but you gotta add something to it. That's lame. That's lame as hell. Like, raccoon folk, just go. Who knows if you'll die or not? We're not gonna teach you nothing. Like, the necromancing squirrels are like, yo, you got to deal with the Calamity beast's bones. The rat folk are like, you got to go to this submerged meteorite and chunk off some dangerous ice, son. And the rabbit folk, oh, you got to go on a lame pussy adventure where you tiptoe through the tulips, you little bitch. And when you come back, bake me a cake, you weak fucking clown. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Weak. Anyways, hanging gardens. Wow, I can't get over this. They really fucked the rabbit folk over. Somewhere in the valley behind a waterfall lies a sea note. Oh, bro. I could use a sea note. There lies a sea note whose walls are covered with hanging vines, moss, and other foliage that drapes down to touch the water's surface. Lily pads float freely on the surface of the shallow pool, and frog folk come to bask in the sun at midday when it's right above the sea note's opening. Wow, the frogs don't have any challenge, really, I guess. They don't have to tiptoe to the tulips, they just gotta lay down. These animal folk really got different treatments. Ancient seed bed, a source of many of the seeds that grow in valley. The seed bed is untamed and uncultivated wilderness that's long been a place where unique vegetables, fruits, and greens grow and can be harvested. Though much of the food here isn't as refined as that grown in the valley, rabbit folk learned to take in the varietals found here and cross them with other varieties to increase yield or flavor. Oh, you're going on a dangerous journey to see what new gourds have grown, and then you're going to be a gourd humper. Weak. Joe, you think the Phineas might be the only cool rabbit on Bloomburrow? I'm surprised he learned to use a bow and not just a ladle. Would you like me to ladle some soup into your mouth, Calamity Beast? Shall I go rump up for you and dilate? The Sunflower Sanctum. A well-kept sanctuary where tall sunflowers grow is where many animal folk source their seeds to store for the cold winter months. Their heights prove too dangerous for some animal folk. Oh, I wonder who? I wonder if it's the bitch boy bunnies. The triple B's. The bitch boy bunnies. I'm only allowed to walk beside flowers. Oh. All right. So, bird folk claim many of the seeds here during the hot summer months. Always generous with their spoils, Birdfolk eventually share sunflower seeds with the rest of the valley after taking their share to store and age in secret. How? Aging seeds? Aging seeds? Okay. The Calamity Beasts. Here we go. Calamity Beasts are large, terrifying, non-sapient creatures. Okay. All right. Calamity Beasts are large, terrifying, non-sapient creatures that are harbingers of seasonal changes. And I'm like, doesn't sapient mean like intelligent and aware of their own existence? Because they seem like they are. They seem like they are. Right? I don't know. Anyways. They're massive, towering over any animal folk of the valley who scramble and scurry to safety when seeing signs of a calamity's approach. To animal folk, they're near mythological beings that inspire awe, terror, and excitement. Because the Calamity Beasts bring new seasons in their wake, they represent an essential part of the local ecosystem despite the danger. So the animal folk owe their flourishing crops to their movements as much as they blame their leaner harvests on them as well. Man, I'm sweating. I'm sweating. The sickness is getting at me, boys. I'm glad I've been able to make it through all this. This is actually taking up a bunch of my energy, but it's worth it. It's worth it to hang out with you guys and talk some fun magic stuff. All right. Not all Calamity Beasts are carnivorous. Some are simply so huge their very existence is a threat. Animal folk have built up a repertoire of tools and systems for dealing with them, but no amount of preparation can guarantee avoiding conflict with them. All right? Calamity Beasts are roughly divided into two groups by the animal folk of Valley. No, Ashmead, it can't just be like non-humanoid. Oh, is that what you think they're saying? Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. They're just full-on animals, and they don't act like animal folk. They're not wearing equipment. They don't wield tools. Fair enough. Fair enough. I think you're absolutely right. Great point. Calamity Beasts are roughly divided into two groups. The most powerful calamities are given names and are unique. No two major Calamity Beasts are the same. Minor calamities are seen more frequently, and their powers are lesser in scale and effect than major calamities. The power of the Calamity Beasts are akin to living natural disasters, uncontrollable and unpredictable expressions of magical energy. A wolf that burns with fire and sets the forest ablaze around it. An elk that brings winter with each step. Or an owl with night on its wings that blackens the sky. Some minor calamities have more tame versions of these powers, such as causing the air to grow hot instead of catching fire, or causing water to freeze underfoot. To the animal folk of the valley, these differences are monumental, sometimes the difference between life and death. Whenever and wherever a Calamity Beast appears, the world changes around them. Leaves might wither and die, the hills might scorch and crack, or crops might bloom in an instant. These effects can warp the environment permanently, leaving craters, toxic topsoil, or new ponds, while others come and go with the Calamity Beast. I really love the concept of Calamity Beasts. It's sweet. And then you got seasons. Bloomburrow has no natural seasons. Instead, seasons are brought on by the appearance of Calamity Beasts, whose migrations bring shift in temperature and environment that are called seasons. In the valley, weather is never a coincidence. Winter is brought on by the massive blizzard elk moving throughout the valley. The sunhawk might herald the start of summer, scorching the air with arid heat. The animal folk have names for every season, some of which occur once in a generation, while others happen each year with regularity. And each season is named after the power of the Calamity Beast that caused it. All right, there we go. That's all of them. That's every bit that they included here. Ralph says non-sapient beings are species that entirely lack the mental capacity for rational thought. Often such species are referred to as creatures or beasts. All right. All right. Well, overall, I can switch this now so I can see the chat over on this side, which makes it easier. There we go. overall, a bunch of interesting information. 100%. 100%. So it's not a bad read overall. It's a clunky read in some ways, but there's a bunch of cool information. That's just the first installment. So we'll go through all 3 installments overall. What up, Blue Cats? How you doing? Curse the Elks? Curse them indeed. Thompson, what's up? You're headed to Turkey tomorrow? Well, I guess that's better than the journey the bitch boy bunnies go on, right? I can't believe that. There's so many dangerous journeys for so many different animals, and the bunnies are like, we just want to cook and walk through the flowers. Although maybe that just makes them smarter. They're like, you guys deal with the hard stuff. I'm going to make a tart. Juggling, you thought it was all right. Bloomburrow seems pretty cool. I really like Bloomburrow, like a lot. Honestly, I'm going to go straight out and say I love it. I love Bloomburrow to the point where normally I don't care as much about covering all the commons and uncommons for a set, but I want to talk about all the cards from this set because it all adds to the world building. It's got an awesome vibe. Certain Mike, only thing you wish they did was make the winter lands be snow lands. They probably didn't want snow lands in standard, right? Although that would crank the amount of money they would get from people trying to chase the lands, because snow lands only show up 10% of the time. You know that, right? When you get a full art land in Bloomburrow, only 1 out of every 10 will be a winter land. And then when you change that to the fact that it's across all 5 different lands, it's not going to be easy to get if they were actually snow-covered lands. Ralph, the Bloomburrow art is just something else? Absolutely. Absolutely. I was playing on Arena today, and I couldn't help but notice how jarring and crappy the artwork from Markov Manor is, right? Like, there's Rubble Belt Cultivator. I don't know if there's any cards that I have right here in front of me from that pack we opened of it. But like, or is it Rubble Belt Maverick or something like that? Either way, he's a 1/1 green, comes into play, Surveil 2. He's standing there beside like a 6-eyed like lynx or something like that. And he's wearing like a trench coat and a hat to be a detective. But they look so wrong on him. Like he was not originally painted with that artwork, right? They with that gear. They painted it on afterwards. And so it looks clunky and ill-fitting. Jess, you've been burning for 5 minutes from having the crazy hot sauce? That's no good. That's no good. A nice change from generic characters wearing high school theater costumes. That's true. Oh, this weird. Wasn't this centered better when we were... Hold on. Oh, yeah, look at that. Huh. Oh, well. Let me pull it over here so Millmaster can get his full credit for being the member master, the member lord. Missing number. What's up, buddy? You love these streams? Well, I'm glad to hear it. I am glad to hear it. Code, you hope there's a Stoat card in the set? Oh, there is. There definitely is. I saw a card with Stoat in the name today. So wait for the next spoiler video and we'll talk about that. Zircon, you're obsessed with Taskmaster? I can understand why. As soon as I found it, I watched everything. I watched all of it. I've watched every different kind of Taskmaster. The American one is the worst one by far. And I even watched Sturmerstrung, or whatever the hell the Danish or Swedish one was called. I've actually thought about doing a video on Hatcher called Ranking the Taskmasters. You know, like ranking the different Taskmaster series and the Taskmasters. Like, the Taskmaster for New Zealand, you can tell the difference. Greg loves being the Taskmaster, and he plays the role quite well. And Alex loves being the little bunny bitch boy, right? So they work quite well together. It's fantastic. And Alex's passive-aggressive enjoyment of people having a hard time, all of it works really well. So when they try and translate that over to other countries, you get different dynamics. Like the Taskmaster in New Zealand, he feels like he doesn't want to be the Taskmaster for most of it. But in the most recent season, ever since the Alex Horn cameo, I don't know if they told him to like amp it up, but he started being more Taskmaster-ish. And I noticed as well, he's making himself more distinct by being the only Taskmaster who hands out, like, Greg kind of established a pattern for point handing. And then this dude, Jeremy, is totally changing it up. And a lot of the times just giving out 4s and nobody gets a 5 and just random stuff like that. It's great. Ashmead, I think that they didn't have the original artists change them. I think that they already had the artwork in their file from Capenna, and they have an in-house artist who can make alterations like that. And so that in-house artist was tasked with painting fedoras and coats onto a bunch of pre-existing artwork, which must have felt really goofy. Like in previous sets, what you would have seen them done is in the set in Ikoria, where you can tell that they've shoved in... Why can't I think of her name right now? The sickness is holding my brain. Oh, the Jeskai Planeswalker. She's depicted kicking in the artwork in Ikoria. God, why can't I think of her name? This is wild. Help me out here, guys. What the hell's her name? Jess says, I'll be on board, please. Let's hope till the end. You are Lord of the Board. You are Lord of the Board. Rubbing it in everybody's face. All right. Why can't I think of her name? My brain's supplying other... There it is, Narset. Thank you. My brain was going, Ikoria. It's like, that's a set, idiot. You just said that. Tameo. No, that's the bunny one. Narset. So in what's it called? In Ikoria, Narset, that's artwork they had from a completely different set. They just painted the Icorian crystals onto the cliff sides. You can see they've been added in. So that's what that artist had to do before, is make it fit the world. And it's never been as ridiculous or goofy, right? Ashmead, imagine how pissed the actual artist must feel every time they see that crap. So, you know what? Some of them probably hate it. And some of them probably don't care, because not every artist that works for Wizards cares about Wizards or Magic. It's just working for Wizards gives you credibility in the professional realm. I've spoken to a Magic artist who explained that to me, that like it's hard to be taken seriously as a fantasy artist, and working for Magic is one of the ways to gain credibility. Code 936's super chat says frogs and stoats. Frogs and stoats. Well, fill your boots, buddy, because you're going to get both. And I am with you, especially on the frogs part. I love the little frog magic wielders. Oh my God. There's that one druid, and he's got his arms up, and like he's dealing with the rain. It's just so awesome. It's so awesome. Thanks, Code. I hope a kangaroo doesn't come and attack you, since I know you're in Australia. Doomblade Vivian. Listen, bro, I got 2 words for you. Goku, Broku. Shut it. I guess that's 4 words. Oh, Code, you can help. I guess you can help settle something for us. Is this your first time super chatting on any live stream ever, on any channel, or is it just on this channel? This is what we were talking about yesterday with the little message that says below. Heavy Metal was talking about that, right? So we can see. Collected as many frog cards as possible in foil. Oh, so you got foil Spore Frog action. Do you have like the Toad? Like, do you have Chub Toad too? I still remember the flavor text from Chub Toad. Like the artwork with the hand sticking out of its big mouth. Chub Toad at the door. Run away quick or you'll run no more. Oh, Chub Toad. I had him in my big green tower back in the day. Code, just this one? Okay. So this is your first super chat on a live stream anywhere ever across YouTube. So that might be what it's referencing then, as opposed to specifically this channel. We were trying to figure it out from someone super chatting yesterday's stream. So thanks for the information. Ashmead, you went the exact same place I did, asking about Chub Toad. That's the one from Ice Age. Heavy Metal, it does make sense. You're the one who actually put the question in my mind. Speaking of questions in my mind, I want to know what these taste like, but since I'm sick, we're going to save it. We're going to save these for another stream. Maybe I'll be able to find some other weird foods to do taste tests on. Bo did a really great job of sending me a bunch of stuff to try. It was awesome. Missing number, you have a serialized Yargle for the Frog Boys? Look at you, fancy man. That's awesome. Lasagna, for me yesterday, it was your 5th time super chatting on any of my channels. Okay, but what about other channels? Like, have you super chatted other channels, or is it just my channel? So that's just 5 across all of YouTube. Because if that's the case, then we know definitively, because we've got it sourced from 2 people. And X marks the spot. Rump up. That's how, rumps up. That's how we go down in Bloomburrow. Code, you have a chub toad. You haven't seen one in foil, sadly. Well, that's because they don't exist. There weren't foils back in Ice Age. So you have the only, like, if you want a foil chub toad, you are going to have to commission yourself like a proxy one. Because you can get foil proxies made. Because there's no such thing as a foil chub toad. And I can promise you, there never will be. Because chub toad's way too weak for them to ever reprint it. You know? Lasagna, you've only given money to me. Oh, that confirms the experiment. And on top of that, just makes me feel good. I'm not going to pretend like it doesn't feel good whenever somebody's like, you're the only one I've ever super chatted, or this is my first super chat ever, and I've chosen you. I'm glad that I'm entertaining enough that people choose to support it, because it makes me really happy to do this. And like one of the biggest fears that lays in my subconscious is the whole, like, that sometimes comes up in dreams and stuff, is this all ending and me not getting to do this as my job anymore. So I very much appreciate that you guys support me. It is in no way required, but 1000% appreciated. It makes me feel like a very lucky individual. Lucky, like, because I put in the work and you guys find the work to be worthwhile, right? Like, that is a satisfying feeling. It's nice. Being able to take care of me and my lady in obviously a very modest fashion is great to me. I am very happy. Carly actually commented, she's like, it's nice to see how happy you've been lately. I've been getting progressively happier. The whole focusing on like gratitude for things has fundamentally been altering how I look at stuff in a fantastic way. And I am grateful for it, even if it sounds lame hearing about it. You know what I mean? I get it. When I was younger, I absolutely would have been like, thumbs down, lame boy, you sound like a goof, right? But the reality is, it's helping me so much. Hey, Millmaster Super Chat says, there's a colored man in my kitchen. What color is he? Blue. Give my board to Jess the Mess. Millmaster, you want me to put Jess's name on the board? All right, I can do that. Jess, you are Lord of the Board on Millmaster's behalf. But I already made a rule before that other people can't, like, get you onto the roll of Mega Glory that way. So you still got to earn your way. Even though your name is on Lord of the Board and would be on the actual card going in the box, the already pre-established canon rules are you got to get your own way in, just so you know, right? So you are Lord of the Board, but asterisk Lord of the Board. Oh, I guess I should write the whole name, huh? Oh, and look at you. You're taunting him now. You're taunting Code. You're taunting Code that he got kicked off the board. He's like, how does it feel, Code? Off the board. Get out of here. Break stop. I was the first one you super chatted. I took your super cherry. Thanks, buddy. Get the card Jade Avenger. It's a frog samurai. I don't know that one. Ashmead, I don't think the comic book promo has a special set symbol, but I'm not 100% sure either. Code says, sold some flesh and blood cards to buy magic cards. Back on the board. All right. Bouncing right back. He's got that kangaroo jumping power, or he just saw giant spiders jumping away from one or the other. But I guess that's what happens when you talk smack, Jess. You sold flesh and blood cards to get some more magic. Not to get into magic, but to get some more magic. I can approve of that because I think that while Flesh and Blood is interesting, it ain't as good as Magic the Gathering, right? Let's be real. Let's be very real about that. Oh shit! I guess the beginning song says, "Let's battle for Lord of the Board." It's going down. We got an old school battle. Super Duper coming in saying, "F y'all, I'm lording up in here." All right, you sure are, buddy. What's funny is this Lord of the Board battle concept. I didn't create it. I did not create it. Like, I was just looking for ways to go, because you could go on Twitch and it would show people who had like given money and stuff built into the platform. And I'm like, yo, that's a great idea. I'm going to steal that for my stream. So I'm going to get a board where I can show the person and go, yeah, you did it. You're number one. And then when I did that, people just started like fighting each other. Like, oh yeah, no, deflected. I'm getting it instead. Like, and then people just got into fight. Like, they literally just did super chats going, fuck you, I'm taking the board. I never expected it to be a thing, but now it's literally like ingrained into it. It's part of the fucking literal theme song. And Price's writing is a time-tested tradition where you're just like, yeah, you know what you did? I'm doing a penny more and knocking you off. It's that dick move from Price is Right. It's hilarious. I love that that's just like organically grown in the channel. It's such a random thing. You guys, okay, I gotta look up Jade Avenger because you guys are talking about it and I don't know it off the top of my head. Oh, it's from, what, Modern Horizons 2? 2 green, 2/2 with Bushido 2. Oh, okay, that's why. Froggy Fighter at the gate. Draw your sword and meet your fate. Oh, they're doing a nod to Chub Toad. All right. All right. Blue Cat says it looks good too. Yeah, I'm saying that because look, Blue Cat's made this. Blue Cat's made this magnet and these shield magnets too, which elevated the board to the next level. I guess you know what? It'd be probably good to have a Member Lord one, right? Where it's like this, a dividing line that says Member Lord. That's the only thing I can think of that the board would be missing. Code 936 says, I'm a gambling man and I don't like losing. This is a slippery slope for sure. Yeah, you are just leaping into battle, buddy. You are leaping into battle, 100%. Let me update this for you. Super duper, how many times are you in the box thing or whatever? Well, hold on, I can check for you. I've got a book now that we can reference because it turns out that I wasn't doing the most amazing job of keeping track of it all. So I now have a book. I had this book for a while and I couldn't figure out what to do with it. And then I figured out, you know what? It's going to be the Lord of the Board book. So this is what you're talking about. The Box of Glory, right? How many times are you in the Box of Glory? Because for anybody who doesn't know, Lord of the Board ends up on an art card. This will be the one for today. They end up on an art card, name written on the back and the date and everything to commemorate it. I put them in here, right? So these are mementos of all kinds of streams that we've had. I did this before with binders and stuff too, right? But this box has been epic. And when you get inside 5 times, then you go on the actual outside of the box on the roll of Mega Glory, which is currently this side, but then we'll be switching to this side. And then once this side's full, then I'll have to, maybe I'll need maybe we'll have it full by then. So I shouldn't have to worry about that, right? Anyways, Super Duper wanted to know, oh wait, no, Super Duper says, if you want to fight, you got it, bro. Taking the board back. All right. All right. This is, oh, look, this is your 20th. This is the 20th super chat that you've done on all of YouTube. Super Duper, doing a Price is Right maneuver, but adding 9 cents instead of 1 just in case somebody else was about to come swinging in. Now that is planning. That's how you can tell when somebody's already familiar with the Price is Right strategy. And so they're like, I want to Price is Right it, but I don't want... There have been people who have done like 1 cent more and someone else did 2 cents more, and so they just got blocked out by it, which is hilarious. All right, so, man, hands are a little shaky from being sick, bro. You get like that? Ugh. Okay, let's see. Now the only thing is there's multiple pages. Oh, it's right here. Super duper. You already got 2 wins. You already got 2 wins, so you're in there twice. 3 more, and you get to go on the roll of Mega Glory. That's right, Nishimoto. The art card for tonight's Lord of the Board is Fire and Ice. Immortalized forever. And I do go back and look through these fondly. Like, it makes me happy to watch this stack grow. I'm going to keep this. This isn't going anywhere. I will have this basically until I die. This is a stack of mementos of the time that I spent with you guys. I keep every fan letter I've been sent, the little Amazon slips from packages people send me. Like, for real. Got my first fan letter I ever got in my wallet. Like, I get disappointed when I go down to the post office and there's nothing there, so I don't go as frequently, right? But, like, all of it. I love having these mementos. It's awesome. Look, that says I have a box of glory, too. I know what you're saying. Ashmead, don't worry, buddy. You got yours coming. You're gonna be able to settle other people's hash with your settle abilities. You're gonna be a settler. Lasagna, it makes you tear up a bit thinking about how Carly sees that you've been happier. My gut instinct is to read that sarcastically, but I know it's not sarcastically. I mean, if it is, then like this. But if it's not, then that's nice, buddy. That's nice. I genuinely have been happier. For real. Like, I can feel it. I know that, like, I know because I talk about everything. Sometimes, like, I've seen people leave comments on the live stream afterwards. What the hell is this? This guy's therapy? You know, like, because I just talk about what's going on with me and what's on my mind. So in some ways, you could have viewed it as like pseudo therapy or whatever, right? So I'm glad to share that, like, things were way harder before for me mentally, and they've been progressively getting better. And I'm so happy about it. And I know that being happy will just translate to me making more people happy, because whatever kind of energy I'm embodying, I put it out into other people. I'm an emotion lord, son. You know, like, if you know Bravest Warriors, like that. So it makes me happy that just being in a better mind state is going to make other people's times better too. Because what I do helps, like, some people who just need a distraction. Some people are having a really hard time. I'm glad that I get to help them all out, you know? It's dope. It's dope. Ashmead, 3 more days till they get it. Oh, then the wait's pretty much over, right? Because then it won't be long before it's all in your hands. Super duper, how many more until you can get an officially licensed hatcher bodybuilder you can cuddle with one of your worn t-shirts on it so I can smell you while I snuggle it? Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord, the internet is an uncomfortable place. Hey, Nishimoto says, Price is Right this. He's coming in hard, son. Somebody wants to be on the Fire and Ice card, right? That's it. Nishimoto wants to be Fire and Ice in it. And that is fair enough. It's an awesome card. Because you've already made it onto the roll of Mega Glory. So it's not like you need to be doing that. All right, Nishimoto. Lording that board. Bum, bum, bum. Oh, Code, damn. Code is in it to win it. Code Super Chat says, we hop into the lead with this one. You ever seen the video of Coyote Peterson and the Smoky Jungle Frog? Peak cinema. Also, nice. Nice in the 69. No, actually, I've never heard of that video. You know what's actually really cool? I just realized, guys, I used to delete all the live streams. Now I leave them up. When you delete the live streams, you can't go back and read the super chats later. Now I can. I can go back and read them later. So I can actually go, what was the name of that video? And literally pull that super chat up. That's crazy. That's awesome. So far, I'm liking uploading leaving the live streams up on this channel, as opposed to doing it over on Hatcher when we're not doing it on the Historian. So how has it been for you guys? First of all, for the people in the stream, but also anybody who watches this afterwards and has been watching the uploads before, do you like this more with the chat added in? Is this better? Is this worse? Is this no different at all? Zircon says, damn, Code's the man. Yeah, he's proven it. He's proven it, son. Ashmead, they can't PayPal your settlements, so you got to wait for a transfer that takes longer. That sucks, buddy. At least it's coming. At least you've been through the hard part. Oh, speaking of hard, Rigid for Zircon gifted 10 memberships. Thanks, big boy. Missing number, Blue Cats, Ashmead, Nishimoto, Charles, Chris, Randomness, John, and Otto, and Beaumont, all now members of the Hatcher Stream channel. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. And Zircon is the new member master. Thank you, guys. I very much appreciate all this. This is fucking, this is clearly more than I deserve, but I'm keeping it. Also, it is genuinely fantastically timed since YouTube has literally been going, oh yeah, hey, like, we're just going to show you random things and say, yeah, they're not making money. And it's like, nothing? Not even like the few cents in ad money for this thing here? It's like, no. It's like, what's going on? This better be a glitch. So I've remained calm, and I'm assuming it's a glitch. But either way, thank you, my friends. Appreciate it. Every day's Come On membership. Make sure you've turned it on this channel, right? You got to turn on gifted memberships. If not, you can't get one. Joe, do you think it'll be nice to see the chat when viewing the stream in a non-live capacity? Well, there's 2 up that you should be able to already see it that way. And I just went to this channel today and rearranged the main screen. So when you go there now, it should show you the lives. Malik, you sent my Bloomburrow story to your sister and got her even more excited for the set. That's awesome. That's awesome. I'm glad to hear it. I am glad that what I do is making people happy. I gotta be real. We were coming through a big period of a lot of negative content based on Magic, along with just a lot of negative stuff going on in my life and my thoughts. And now I feel like I'm stepping out of the shadows into the sunshine. And it's warm on my skin, and making people happy makes me happy. There's like, when you're wired to make people laugh and shit like that, there's a reason for it. You want to make people happy. I actively try and do this. So it's gratifying. Obviously, I do it on multiple levels. With my jokes, with sharing the enthusiasm over playing Magic and the cards, with talking about the stories and trimming them down to get rid of some of the fluff, and also using my delicious voice. Super Duper says, the fuck you mean more than you deserve? You bring meaning to my pointless Thursday night, man. It's dope hanging out with you. Well, thanks for saying that, buddy. That is very nice. I am grateful for you as well, son. Blue Cats, you're amazing. You're included officially with real people on the internet. You know I like you in person. Look, you want to know what's crazy? Blue Cats, if you think about it, do you know how many people on Earth now would love to have been you like a decade ago or whatever? If you think about it, really? Because I just thought about it now. That's the reality. So, you know. Bo Falcon gifted 5 memberships as well. Nice to see you, buddy. I mentioned you earlier. I was talking about the awesome food that you sent out and how it got me more hyped for food taste and streams and stuff. So got TJ, Neo, Kevin, and Ryan all gifted memberships. Oh, I know Ryan will be really happy about that. Ryan was one of the ones who kept pushing for me to, like, yo, can you put the live streams up after for me to watch? Like, multiple people asked, but he just kept going, hey, you should do this and whatever, you know? And like, and in like a non-annoying way. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Code, hell yeah. Breath of fresh air, 100%. 100%. Zircon, some people like you have a brand account for some reason and aren't eligible for gifts. That sucks. That is unfortunate. But you know what, buddy? You got that sweet membership, right? That's good. Super Duper says, yeah, I'm too broke to take Code down, but someone get him the fuck off the board. See you at 6 o'clock in the morning. How did you make it through? How did you make it through? Every day you didn't have memberships turned on, and now you just turned them on after bow. You missed the bow rain. The Falcon flew by dropping memberships, and you were just standing around with your back turned while other people were like, oh, let me catch one, Papa. Blue Cats, you say, I'm a celebrity. You should sell yourself in a tourist attraction booth outside my house. Every day, yeah, you have to do it on every channel. The good news is, I'm not talking about making any new channels anytime soon. We've got like a whole bunch of channels already, right? We've got Hatcher for non-magic related stuff, but I can put magic stuff on there that I want, so it's everything. We've got this stream to hold live streams I've had anywhere, including this one. And we've got Fantasy Geographic for the magic stories and some other lore. Oh, more memberships coming through. Bo Falcon giving memberships to Beasley, Ham Sandwich, Rascal, Doge, and Nathan. Zircon going for, I bet that was like a called shot, just seeing if he could get you every day. But he got Korg. He got Korg instead. Thanks for the membership love, guys. That's awesome. That's awesome. Code says, if you remove the 69, you're not nice. Don't do it. Ashmead says, instead of the night owl, we have the member falcon. That's right. He flies over you with this big fat member and it just smacks into your forehead. You know that Bull Falcon and Zircon just tried to hook you up every day, right? That's why they did it. That's why they did it. So they get the double thumbs up and the spread, right? They both put in their all. And now a bunch of other people have them. So maybe in a stream happening soon, maybe then you'll randomly get one slapped right on your forehead. But a bunch of people have been given the glorious letters beside their name, and now the chats will be more filled with greenitude. You love my lore? Well, thanks, buddy. I also am glad that Wizards got their act together. It's great. See you're probably going to wake up at 16 again. 4. Okay. I'm used to a 12-hour clock, bro. So I see that. You're going to wake up at 4 in the afternoon? Is that when you get up? That's wild. I stream at random times. So anybody who wants to catch all my streams should be in my Discord, just so you know. Just so you know. Every day says, Mike, you have the best followers. Seriously, much love. Absolutely. Absolutely. Like, the people who come here are fucking amazing. I watch streams where people are just complete jag-offs. And I just look at the chat and I'm just like, or streams where the people don't interact. We have small, cozy little streams. I don't pull down big numbers. And part of that is specifically because I've avoided the titles of videos that will do that. I've accidentally gotten streams where like there was 750 people or more based on the subject of the stream. So if I was to pick more widespread topical things and covering exactly what's going on now, I could get way more people out to the streams. But I like the casual, cozy, chill vibe of these live streams, right? Just having that many people around makes it feel like it's hard to interact on the same kind of level, but I guess at the same time you're reaching more people, so maybe I'll try and expand my horizons from that, but I intentionally keep it in a way where I expect the streams to be like 100 people or less regardless of where we are, and it works out great. It's nice and comfy. You get up to 250 and it starts to get unwieldy. 750 is madness. I can't even imagine what it's like beyond that, but I love that this place has attracted a bunch of intelligent people with good senses of fucking humor who care about other people, because the reality is you attract people who are like you. That's why obnoxious dickheads have obnoxious dickhead followers, because I'm actually underneath it all a great, smart, caring, funny guy. That tends to be who I attract here, is people who are like that, right? So we've just got like a group of some of the best motherfuckers on the planet. Straight up. Straight up. You know? Super duper. Yeah, man, I feel you. I am glad that I get to just be chill and that it's not like, oh, this gigantic thing, right? I mean, I guess on the other side of the coin, those people make crazy bank and I could use some crazy bank. But then look at this stream. For a stream my size, what you guys have just jammed up in my butt is crazy, right? So I feel like that's a good sentence to wrap it up on, because I just realized it's already past midnight, so it's time to end this. And that means, Code, you've won the board. you will be placed upon this card, and I will note your victory in the Journal of Glory as well. 5 wins, and then you get to be on the Mega Glory roll. So, thanks for coming, my friends. The live stream should be available to watch whenever you want. You know what I mean? Because it should show up just as soon as this one ends. So thanks for coming out. Drive safe, right? And yeah, that's it. Bye.